EPAWA meteorologist Bobby Martin here with your outlook for June 18th, 2024. It is Tuesday. The Tuesday video forecast is proudly sponsored by Mark Damiani Painting Incorporated. Summer weather is upon us, and it's time for outdoor activities and parties. Let Mark Damiani Painting spruce up your home to show off to friends and family when they come over. You'd be surprised what a new paint color can do to a home, whether you have wood siding, vinyl siding, or stucco. They can paint all of them to any color that you choose. And don't forget about those front doors, garage doors, and shutters either. Let them help you pick the latest modern colors to transfer your home into a new haven to hang out this summer. They are family-owned and operated with over 40 years in business, so you can't go wrong with their exceptional attention to detail and great customer service. Servicing the Southeast PA counties of Montgomery, Bucks, and Chester. Call them now to schedule a free estimate at the phone number above me here in the video, 484-571-9233. They are Mark Damiani Painting Incorporated, proud sponsor of the Tuesday video forecast. I will not go as long-winded as I did yesterday. Monday's like the beginning of the week, and I have to give a big overview. Today, if you've watched the video every day, you pretty much know what's going on. So I'll give you just the abbreviated version today, so we're not going as long, because we have nothing but hot and humid conditions for your Tuesday. We're going to be hotter than we were yesterday. Yesterday, many areas just got in the upper 80s. There were a few lower 90s, but most areas were just upper 80s yesterday. Today will be solidly the 90 to 94 degree range across the entire region. And you might even have some northern areas being hotter than the southern areas in this case, because that's where the position of the ridge is, which I'll show you in a second. And then on Wednesday, similar day, but we're going to have, the dew points are going to come down slightly, so it might not be quite as, it's still going to be humid, it's just not going to be quite as humid as it is going to be today. And then we're back up here on Thursday with the humidity and the temperatures, and it looks like that Thursday through Saturday and perhaps even Sunday timeframe is going to be the hottest stretch there. We're going to have mid-90s. Now, I will tell you, now the National Weather Service was still pretty high in their temperature projections. We have lowered ours because it's looking like the European model is a little bit overdone, or quite a bit overdone, in some of those temperature projections of upper 90s to low 100s, and that has since backed off. And the GFS has kind of been like steadfast through this entire time here. So I do think while it's going to be very hot and humid, there's a difference between 95 and maybe projecting 100 here. I don't know if we're going to quite get that high this entire week, but so temperatures came down very slightly, but when you're talking about a difference between 96 and 100, it's not that big of a difference. It's hot no matter how you want to look at it. So I think we're going to be dry through Thursday. You'll notice this activity off to the north. I think here on Friday we'll have the opportunity for some isolated to widely scattered PM thunderstorms for at least the northern half of our region starting to come into play. This has been a change over the past 24 hours or so. This is a little bit more active as this ridge starts to break down here at the end of the week, and you'll have near daily chances here going into the late afternoon and evening for a thunderstorm. And the same thing here happens here on Saturday, and the same thing here on Sunday. So at least isolated chances for late day thunderstorms. Looks like a lot of coverage here, but thunderstorms dump, this is a measure of how much precipitation fell. Doesn't mean it's going to be a lot of activity. I really don't think it's going to be. It's just going to be, as the storm rolls through, you have some locally heavy rainfall with any of those storms moving through, so that's why it looks worse than it is. When we get closer at the end of the week, of course, we'll have the Naman range. We'll have a breakdown of what we're expecting. The next organized chance for scattered showers and thunderstorms is going to come here on Monday when the cold front moves through. It's going to end all this nonsense with the extreme heat and humidity. So here is that ridge building over the southeastern U.S. today. This is yesterday, and here's what it looks like today. So you see the ridge is a little bit stronger sitting over the region today, and then we get to Wednesday and Thursday, and we really get that ridge going. It's a 597 decameter ridge, so it's a very strong ridge, an anomalously strong ridge for this time of year. Again, this is something you typically see more like in July and late July, in fact, and then in August. So this is a little early for that, and then Thursdays continues. Once we get to Friday, see this is already starting to break down a little bit, and you're getting the ridge pushing off to the south and west, and what that does is invite some precipitation chances here on the outer periphery of that ridge. So the ridge in this case is moving off to the south and west here. We're on the outer periphery of this ridge, so it invites some thunderstorm activity that's rotating around, that's going around that upper ridge there. So the ridge is actually, let me redraw that here. Here's the outer periphery of the ridge, and you have some activity that kind of moves in this direction along it. So it's kind of like what we're going to be dealing with here as we get toward the weekend. This might come a little bit earlier here on Friday, and you see that continues to break down over the weekend here, Saturday and there's Sunday. Once you get to Monday, here's that little trough coming in that's going to come in behind the cold front. So we're going to lower the temperatures, but only back to the mid to upper 80s. It's not like we're going from mid 90s back to 70s is not going to work that way, unfortunately. But we'll lower the humidity behind this front starting Tuesday of next week. So we'll have a break in that a little bit for a couple of days, and we're going to be hanging in the kind of mid to upper 80s. It looks like for that entire remainder of the week. And once we head toward next weekend, especially the second half of next week, and we start increasing the temperatures back toward 90 degrees again as we get into next weekend. So we'll and this is going way out here. This is not this is not this weekend. We're talking about next weekend, the following weekend. So it's going to toward the end of the month here, the last day of the month of June. And here's the temperatures today. Again, higher than they were yesterday. Here's what yesterday was. So it's higher today. And you see where the ridge, the strongest part of the ridge that's 10 to 15 degrees above average is up here. And as we go through the week, that starts to move down south here as we get into the Thursday, Friday time frame especially. We're going to be about 10 or 12 degrees above average at that point, not 15. Okay, so we're probably not dealing with 100, but you're still going to be in the mid-90s. It's going to be plenty hot and humid this entire week. And then this will go away as temporarily, at least once we get into early next week. Again, still slightly above average temperatures, but lower humidity for at least a couple of days next week. I'm EPAWA meteorologist Bobby Martrich. That is your outlook for June 18th, 2024. Have a great Tuesday.